Okay, so Hot Springs, Arkansas. We we left Mississippi River State Park in eastern Arkansas and made our way to Hot Springs, stopping at Cloud 9.
Yes.
Cloud 9 RV Park.
Which gives an escapees discount of 50%.
That was cool.
Yes.
It's always good to get a discount. All right, so while we were at Cloud 9, let's talk about the stuff that we did, because we were only there like 3 days over the weekend, right?
Yes, but it was a action-packed 3 days.
It was full, yeah.
One of the reasons why it was action-packed is while Paul was in the RV, Cloud 9 has a neat area where it is a gathering room, would you say, with a front porch where you can sit, and if you want to read or talk with people, you can. And it just so happened that I went exploring and I met some people.
Ran into a bunch of people.
And the group was called Smart. And what was really neat, there was this 3 individuals sitting at a table, and they said, "Do you know how to play hand and foot?" And my eyes lit up. I was like, do I know how to play hand and foot? I play that with my sister-in-law all the time. So they wanted a 4th player, so I played with them. And then while we were playing, they told me about the group that they're in called SMART.
Special Military Active Retired Travelers.
And if you have not heard of it in your military, you really should check it out. They're a fun group. They invited us along the whole weekend with their group to do some things.
All the little activities. We went to the pancake shop in downtown Hot Springs for breakfast the next morning, all as a group, like 14 people.
And it was a good, the pancakes were very good.
Yeah.
And they were going to do some stuff that we really didn't want to participate in because we wanted to walk the downtown spa row, so we did that.
Yeah, we stopped and we checked out the spa with the visitor center and gift shop, the one with the gift shop, the one with the visitor center. Took some photos of the spas that are closed and a couple that are open, and
when we got through with spa bath row, we heard we were concerned because it was Memorial Day weekend
coming up,
and we were wondering where we were going to stay, and we found the spot called Quapaw Gorge Campground.
Inside, it's part of Hot Springs National Park, and it's a first come first serve campground.
And we found a spot that was right on the river.
Yeah,
and was perfect.
So we drove through the campground, and there was probably about maybe 5 or 6 spots that are open. And this was Saturday afternoon, and before anybody could snatch this one, we registered for it. So we still had 2 days at Cloud 9.
But we decided it was worth it because we had the senior pass. Instead of paying $30 a day, we were only paying $15
Another
a day.
50% off. Can't beat that. So even though we weren't there, we paid for the whole week. So we weren't there for 2 days, but
it was worth it in the end because it
was a really good spot.
And while we were there, when we finally set up camp there, it was a very sought after campground.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in the evening it would be full. And so when we got through with that, then we went back to the campground, and there was a potluck dinner.
Some smart activities were like a potluck dinner, and then what did you guys do afterwards? Because I went back to the rig.
We played cards again.
Okay, you played cards until like 10 o'clock at night. That's when all the old people had to go to sleep.
Yes.
And then same thing that the next day there was a taco dinner, right? That everybody threw in something, right, to make tacos with.
And they invited us to join Smart, so we went ahead and joined Smart. And then
because we are smart, you know. So.
And then on Monday, it was pack up and go move to Gulf Gorge.
And the good thing about that is we could, even though we had to check out by noon or something like that at Cloud 9, and check in at Gulf Gorge was noon, right?
Right, but because we already bought a spot,
we just packed up and moved, and like 2 or 3 hours before the normal check-in time, right? And got our spot and set up, and we had a really good spot there. That was that did it rain that day?
No, it was on the river.
Oh, okay.
But we heard rain was coming through, so we waited till the storm came through, and then we set up our clam. And I spent most of my day outside at the river.
A couple days, yeah.
And one of the cute things was one of our neighbors had 2 little sweet boys they were from Texas, and those little boys, for some reason, they loved me, and they got me to go in the river with them, which I enjoyed. And then we did a did marshmallow fire thing and hot dogs, and I was kind of sad to see them go. They were such cute little boys. And so then
we did some day trips. So the waterfall trail at Lake Catherine, that's a state park, right?
Yes, and that was a nice trail, but we learned a valuable lesson.
Stick together.
Stick together, because Paul went ahead of me with Buddy, and he got so far ahead he couldn't find me, and he was trying to find me and he slipped and fell.
Yeah, Buddy was pulling, he was not messing around, and of course by the river, by waterfalls, it's all slick and mossy and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I banged my knee up pretty good, scraped my arm, but
so we learned a lesson.
Yeah, that was a valuable lesson, because I wouldn't have been in that position if we'd have been together. If we would have been stuck together, I wouldn't have been looking for her.
Then we went to the next day. We went to the University of Arkansas Garvin Woodland, and that was really, really nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. They had apparently this rich old lady had donated all this peninsula on Lake Hamilton. And the University of Arkansas has it all dolled up. They were putting out plants, and they had plant beds and different kinds of gardens, koi pond in a Japanese garden, and moon bridge, and different kinds of bridges, and let's see, what else?
And they had a little model train set by the refreshment.
Before we saw the model train, though, we went to that treehouse,
which we were underwhelmed with. They talked about that they had spent millions of
$2 million building this thing, and yeah, it was architecturally, it was, I guess, from an architect's eye, it might have been something spectacular, but I was expecting a tree house.
Like I don't know if any of you watch the HGTV, but there's a guy from Washington State. Now he builds tree houses. Like if anything, they should have gotten that guy to do it, and it would have been cheaper, and they would have had a more spectacular product.
Yeah, but it was underwhelming, but we went and saw it anyway. But then what was really cool was over by the cafe, they had this train set with 4 trains running around on different tracks, and it was pretty cool because they had replicas of the buildings that Mrs. Garvin had owned, and it was just neat seeing. It even had Thomas the Train in there, It was neat seeing that.
And it is a dog-friendly place. They do allow you to bring your dog,
except in the treehouse
and in the visitor center.
Yeah.
And another great thing about being in Hot Springs, if you're there downtown by the Park Service, they have fountains with the natural water where you
said they do cold water too somewhere.
Yeah, but all I got was the hot water.
It was hot. It was hot for a while.
Yes, and I put it in a gallon jug. So if you do go downtown hot springs, make sure you bring some empty water containers. That was really cool that you could fill
It
it
tasted
up.
pretty good, you know, and it was warm, but yeah, it tasted pretty cool, you know.
And talking about water, I decided to take a day, and I went to, and it was actually on Memorial Day itself.
Yeah.
That I went to the Quapaw bath spa, and you pay $20 and you can spend as long as you want to.
So what did you do while you were there?
Well, first of all, it was so popular and I didn't get a reservation. I had to wait like an hour and a half to get into the bath.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was reading a book, and then when I finally got in, they have like 5 different pools with different temperatures in it. And you know, originally I told Paul, oh, I'm going to spend the whole day there. Because, you know, $20, if you know me, that's a lot of money to give up, and I wanted to get my money's worth.
She wanted her money's worth.
Well, after 2 hours, you wouldn't believe how exhausting it is being in those natural spa waters. It really does tire you out. And here's a tip for you. If you do decide to go to the bath, I thought that you couldn't bring any food or water from the outside. So I didn't bring anything, and I just bought from the cafe. But it turns out that you can bring your own food and water in.
Oh, that's cool.
But I had a chicken salad sandwich at the cafe, and it was good. So then I called Paul and had him come pick me up.
Yeah, by that time there was 1 million people downtown.
And so then it was very, very relaxing, and really didn't want to do anything after that.
I think you hit the clam afterwards, didn't
Yes,
you?
I did.
Yeah, okay. So you went and got in the tent and in your zero gravity chair and kicked back and read and
just real chilled out.
Good deal. That was Memorial Day. That's nice.
And while we were there, we did go to a movie. We went to go see
John Wick. Yeah.
The movie was very good, but the movie theater was not good.
Movie theater. It was like, I haven't been in a movie theater that small since,
it was an AMC theater.
Man, I don't even think I've ever been in one that small.
And we're spoiled. We didn't realize how spoiled we are, because in our hometown, we have a movie theater called the Cobb movie theater, where it has these kickback recliner chairs, and it's, you know, and food. And when we, there was none of that going on.
There was none of that going on. They had like popcorn and candy and soda, and buy your ticket all at the refreshment stand, and the theater was probably about maybe 40 people could be in the theater. It was 2 rows with an aisle down. I mean, not 2 rows, but 2 columns with an aisle down the middle, and like 3 chairs on each side, and however many rows it takes to get 40 people. But yeah, it was utterly small, really small, and uncomfortable, and all that.
And we went to local antique malls trying to find my Corel butterfly dishes.
Yeah.
And no luck.
No luck. But we had fun.
Yes, looking.
You know, we had fun looking.
And meeting people and talking to them.
Yeah. Okay, well that was Hot Springs. You know, that we spent the whole week, actually 11 days there, right? So even though this video just calls for the week, we were there for 11 days, and that's what this is going to cover. Next thing that we did was heading west. I mean, pack up and head west. So that's what our next video will be about. Anything else you want to say about Hot Springs?
Go
to
Hot Springs.
All right, cool.
Oh, that was another thing that we had to deal with when we were in Hot Springs, was the weather, because storms.
It was wet.
And this is one thing that you need to think about when you're planning your trip, that you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
Because originally when we left Hot Springs, our original route after we left was we were going to go up to Fort Smith, stay the night in Fort Smith. Then we're gonna cross and go into Oklahoma
Yep.
and go to Tulsa. But the weather just did not.
Yeah, too much flooding for us, so we had to go a different route. But that's going to be in the next video. All right. In the meantime,
See you down the road.
there you go. Bye.
Bye.